Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping in. If you're a returning subscriber, I so appreciate you. If you're new, I appreciate you. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and also hit that subscribe button. Today the video is about a couple of different things that I'm just kind of putting together, just some basic, a few questions that I've been asked, and one of them has to do with updating my reading review, and if I'm doing anything for to decorate for Halloween, and just a couple of things that I use, and really going to talk about my favorite author and the books that I have, and I want to share them with you. So first of all, let me just say that I already forgot somebody. I'll be right back.
Oh my goodness gracious, girl.
Oh well, that's life. That's the way it goes. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to share with you a few of the DIYs that I am still working on for the fall season. Some of them are gifts, and just using up some of my supplies, and just going to share them with you because I think they're real cute. The first one is just this cute little double stacked pumpkin. Now, this is like, you just can't go any cheaper than this. This was at the Dollar Tree, 99 cents. And this one was another one, 99 cents. I needed the stem on this particular pumpkin because that's what I bought it for, because I had made a sweater pumpkin and I wanted more of a stem on it instead of a made stem. So I just took the stem off because it was the perfect size for what I had made. And then I had this pumpkin that, you know, I'm thinking, okay, I'm just paying 99 cents to get that little stem. And so I thought, well, I had this pumpkin, and it really was a pretty combination from Dollar Tree, and then I just went ahead and put about 2 or 3 coats of Mod Podge on it and just shined it up, and I just thought it was real pretty because it was kind of dull looking. And then what I did with this pumpkin is I went ahead and I painted it, and I used some chalk paint, and then I just went into the grooves and wiped it down so some of the original green would come through. And then I just glued the top of this pumpkin onto this one and put about 2 to 3 coats of Mod Podge on this bottom one also, and then just hot glued these little flowers that I had in my stash. And I have it sitting on my glass pedestal in the kitchen, and I think it's real cute. It's adorable, and it's something that you can put together so easily. And you know, sometimes it's just worth the sacrifice of a stem to do a little double stack, and keep the stems because you never know what you can use them for. Next, I'm going to share with you some of the crocheted little pumpkins that I've been working on that I just thought just came so adorable. So I'm going to show these. Some of these I've made as gifts, but I just thought they came super cute. This just happens to be like kind of a cream colored yarn that I used, and most of this yarn is yarn that I had in my stash. And then I just crocheted these little tendrils and twisted a little piece of burlap with some pearls on it, and just flowers and stuff that I had in my stash, and then a burlap leaf with a little initial on it, because this is for somebody very special that I know who has the first letter of, or has an initial for H. And then I made one in this cute little rust color, pumpkin-y color, and kind of the same. It was the identical pattern because I used a couple of different patterns, but these two were the same. Fun to make. I am going to link that crochet pattern below. So if any of you are into crocheting and you're looking for something different, these are easy to whip up in no time at all. So simple, so easy, and so just adorable, adorable. And then I think I got the instructions for a couple of different stems from a couple of different videos, but whichever ones that I linked and saved, I will, or whichever videos that I used, I will link them below. And again, another burlap leaf, cut down a little bit, and an initial. And then I came up with this little pumpkin, which I just think turned out so cute because I had to make it more for a boy. So, you know, boys really aren't into these things, but just kind of one of those, you know, memorable things that maybe, you know, he'll hold on to or something. I don't know. But anyways, here it is. And it doesn't have to be for a boy. It can be for a girl. But I made these little tendrils by just taking some wire that's in a spool, but it's not soft. It's actually coated, so it has some body to it, twisting it around a pipe cleaner. I put a little raffia around the neck of it, and then I made this little, I call it a pumpkin spider. If you can see, it has a little pumpkin head, and these little legs are the spider legs, and I just hot glued it on, and this what came actually from my potpourri. I just found a half of a hard little shell, and I thought, that would be a perfect body for a spider. I'll kind of bring it up close so you can see what my little spider pumpkin looks like. And so since it's for a boy, hopefully he'll enjoy it this year and think, oh, okay, it's not too girly looking. Anyways, just a little. And, oh, I did another little tiny one for, I didn't bring it in here, but just been making some of these crocheted pumpkins that are just so, like I said, they're so easy to make and they're so adorable. And I'm trying to see, I used two different patterns. They were both relatively very easy. I would say, you know, you have to know how to half double crochet and single crochet, and pretty much, you know how to do a slip stitch, but really simple to follow. And they were fun to work on, and they just came out so good. The next thing I want to talk about and move on to, I've had a couple of people ask me what I have been reading lately, and I have to tell you, I am really lacking in the reading department, really behind, because this is the time of year that I do like to craft, do my DIYs. I really got into the fall this year because, as I've said so many times before, I missed out on the fall season last year, and so I have been spending a lot of time working on fall and Christmas projects. So I'm going to talk about what I'm currently reading and finishing up, and what my next book will be, and one of my favorite authors. But before I do that, there's two more things I'd like to share with you. And one of them is an idea for a Christmas wreath, and it happens to be this particular wreath that I have been working on. Now, basically, these are pictures of my little granddaughter, her first Christmas, and this is her second Christmas, and I just have the picture hooked on to this little like sparkly star or poinsettia type flower, because I don't really want to cut down these pictures. I did on this one because it was her first, and I actually have it hot glued to the ruffle. These are just attached because these are clip little flowers that I got at the Dollar Tree. And the raffia, I'm sorry, the ruffle in this light kind of blue-gray with silver in it came from Dollar Tree. This actually came from Hobby Lobby. This came from Hobby Lobby, and this red burlap came from Hobby Lobby. Now, I had this left over because I made a small little Christmas ring with this. This is so stiff. Actually, I love the way it looks, but I do not like working with it. It is so stiff and so wiry. It'll stick and pull at your clothes, so you have to be really careful. It's what I had left over. I wanted to use it, and then I got an idea that I wanted to make a wreath that is going to represent the first 5 Christmases of my granddaughter. And that's why I framed the first one, and the rest I'm just going to clip on and take it to her 3rd, her 4th, and then her 5th. This little guy I got this year at the Dollar Tree, and I just think this is a great idea for a Christmas wreath, and it's something that I can put up every year and have, and then someday when she's older, pass it down to her. I just think it came so cute, and I love the combination of the different materials that I used. And honestly, if you can just get past the stiffness of this, because it's not like that soft burlap that you make these loop rings or ruffle rings with, but it's a little bit stiffer and harder, and but you know what? It does fluff up and it makes a really nice wreath. So I will be working with it again. I just don't prefer it, but it still makes a real cute little wreath, and I think it came adorable. And then I'll also squeeze a little bow on over here to finish it off, but I just need to leave it so that every year I can add to it because I think it's adorable. Next, just got this in. I usually get this at this time of year, and it's my day planner. I have been using this day planner for I don't know, 5 or 6 years. I like it. It's very helpful and useful. I'm not one to put things in my phone. I have to write it down. I have to see it. And this is my new one for this year. So nice because it's really sturdy. It's not flimsy. I haven't had any issues with any of my books coming apart. And let me tell you, I put my books through the ringer. I take my books with me a lot of times just for in the car because I need the information that I have down in the book. If I'm carrying a great big huge purse, I'll just slip it right into my purse. I'll show you the style. It starts with the month layout in these little blocks, and then the next month is always printed down at the bottom. It comes with a removable plastic ruler, which is really nice and handy. And then I am using what's considered the horizontal from, with each day. Like this is Tuesday, December 1st, Wednesday, December 2nd. You can also get it vertically, but I kind of have bigger handwriting and I do better this way. And then each book also, I'm just going to share with you the highlights of these if you're not familiar with it. It has a section for notes, and it's lined paper, which is really, really handy, really nice. I store a lot of information on the back note section. And then there's just some decorative little sheets. I don't know if you can see that. Just with dots. I mean, you can put little quotes in there or do whatever. And I do like to kind of scrapbook these books because I do think they're kind of like good little memory books, and it's fun. It's one of those things that you can sit down and do, and I kind of think along the lines of it's just one of those relaxations. It's not anything that's stressful. It's just creating, putting with washi tape and stickers, and it's just kind of fun, and I like that. Then there's a section here that's called Let's Keep in Touch, and it's you know, name, addresses, and then you also get a whole bunch of different little stickers that come with the book that's attached. Just some random stickers that are so cute, and some blank stickers so you can write appointment dates. The little, you get this little flap that has a Ziploc top. It has always been attached to the binder, but for some reason this year it's not. So there's a back folder that you can put that in, but I do use it a lot. Went ahead and decided to add a meal planner, and it just has, you know, little utensils on the front and says yum, but it's also for the week, and it goes, and it's just laid out Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you know, so that you can list what you might be thinking about meals. And then over here it gives you a section for shopping list, and then meal prep strategy. I thought this year I would go ahead and add that because I don't necessarily want all of this information into my day planner. As most of you know, I do care for my elderly mom, so I have lots and lots of paperwork and medication that I have to keep separate for her, and it's just a great way to remind yourself and keep yourself organized. And like I said, I have been using a planner with them for probably, I think this might be my 6th year. This is my current planner, and I did personalize it last year with photos and pictures. This year I just kind of went plain with that background, kind of like more of a slate blue with little pink hearts on it that I thought was really really cute. And last year I also went with the pages inside colored, and this year I went with just black and white. I just was in the mood for black and white. I don't know why, but also I'll show you some of my little washi tape decorations. Like this is September, and as I said, you get one of these rulers that just pops in, and then you can put it to the next month or any place that you want an indicator. And I just take them from book to book, and I'll use 2 sometimes in one book. This is just a little pre-washi tape decorations that I did for the month of December. I just think it's kind of fun. It just does something when you're writing and you're looking at something that's pretty, and I don't know, it's just great. It is fun. It is something that I carry around with me all the time, and I don't toss these books aside. I mean, I keep them because it's kind of just like a little diary, because it has a lot of information on it, and there have been times that I have gone back to look. Oh my gosh, when was that? I remember it was sometime, and I'll look, and I pretty much do document everything. So let's get on to what I'm reading. Okay, what I've been reading, and I haven't finished, and it's not because it's not good. It's just that, you know, by the time I go to bed, I'm like, whew, I am tired. I can't even get, you know, I do still read. I read all the time, but I haven't been doing as much pleasure reading because I've been doing other things. But I'm finishing up this. This is called The Little Bistro, and this is by Nina George. At first I didn't think I was going to like this at all, and I found myself really liking it. It's just a charming story, and it is a story that I didn't want to read because of how it started out in the very beginning, and I thought, I don't want to read about this, but you just need to push through, and it really is a very good story. And there were even times in it that you just kind of get angry at one of the characters, or maybe two of the characters, and you just think, oh my gosh, that's horrible, because there are some people who do go through this. So I'll just read to you what it says on the back. Mary Ann, and her name is Mary Ann, so, is stuck in a loveless, unhappy marriage. After 41 years, she has reached her limit, and one evening in Paris, she decides to take action. Following a dramatic moment, Mary Ann leaves her life behind and sets out for the coast. She finds herself in Brittany, the northwestern part of France, also known as the end of the world. There she is swept up by new life. She meets Jan. He's a handsome painter. And this just goes on to talk about the characters. But it says, if you're looking to be charmed right out of your own life for a few hours, sit down with this wise and winsome novel. Everything happens just as you want it to, from poignant moments to crystalline insight in exactly the right measure. These settings are ideal for a summer romance read. Who can resist floating on a barge through France surrounded by books, wine, love, and great conversation? So don't let, if you pick this up, don't let the first chapter scare you away like, oh, I just think it's going to be depressing, because it's quite quaint, and I am very close to the end, and I do plan on finishing it. And like I said, it's not because it's not good, because it is good, but it's just that I've just had so much other stuff that I've been doing. And I've also been reading the story, Megan, a Hollywood Princess. Now, this isn't a novel, but it's just about her, and if you're interested in her, this is a good book. And the author is Andrew Morton. These two, I definitely, and I do that a lot. There's times where I just read two different novels. I don't know why. Now, there are other times that I'm engrossed in one particular and I just want to read the entire novel. But sometimes I'll just pick up something that's not a novel like this. It's just about her, and a novel. So these I do plan on finishing up very soon, because I know during the holidays I always have a special book to read from my favorite author. And my next read, as soon as I finish these up, will be The Wife Between Us. And this is by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekinen? I don't know. But it's called The Wife Between Us. It just is described on the back. Deliciously clever, captivating, shockingly twisty, suspense, jaw-dropping, shocking, buzzy, suspenseful, spring-loaded, twisty, fast, mind-rushing, masterful. So, I like that, and I think I'm going to like this novel. Sometimes I like to read something that's just got that twist and a little bit of edge and suspenseful, and so that's next on my list. But these two, I'm really hoping I'm going to get this finished by next week. And then this one I can just take my time on finishing up. So that leads me to my favorite author, Richard Paul Evans. And maybe some of you have heard of him, maybe some of you haven't. I'm just going to insert a little picture of my bookshelf and show you my books that I have by him. Not only is he a beautiful writer, author, his books are designed so beautifully. I mean, you just pick the book up, you look at it, you look at the cover, you look at the pictures, and just look at the inside of the pages on the book. And they're kind of, they have that kind of worn edge to them. It just invites you to open the book and want to read it. They're quick reads. He just illustrates his stories in such a way that you just feel like you have a movie going on in your head. I love him, Richard Paul Evans. And the very first book I ever, most all of the books that I have from him are hardbook, all of them except one. And it was the very first book that I read by him called TimePiece. And I know they've made Hallmark movies out of several of his books. This book I purchased in 1997, and I don't want it in hardback because this was my first introduction to him, and this was my first book by him, and I just got it in the paperback version, and it's a great little book to read over and over, as many of his books are. And every holiday season, it seems that he comes out with a great story, something that grabs you and moves you, and it's just something I look forward to every Christmas season. And like I said, his books are just beautifully illustrated. The covers, the books, and I'm not a Kindle person. I like the feel and just to smell the pages, and I just love holding a book in my hand as opposed to an electronic device. I love these books, and I love him as an author. He is just, his writing is just awesome, and every book I read, I'm just like engrossed in it from the very beginning. And he's one of those authors that you walk away after reading a few chapters and thinking, I wonder what's going to happen to that character. He's a clean writer, just really knows how to put the words down on paper and paints the picture. And so many times in these novels, you can relate to a situation that you've come across and think, oh my gosh, I've thought that way, or I know someone that happened to, or I've experienced that. I mean, it's just, they're just great books. I love them. I highly recommend them. And if you want to start somewhere, because he's written so many books now, like I said, I bought this in 1997, start here. TimePiece. Sweet, sweet book. So that's it. That's all I have. And until next time, be kind, be humble, age gracefully. Bye.
Pour yourself a favorite drink, a latte, an espresso, a cup of coffee, tea, or hot cocoa, whatever your pleasure is. Grab that warm blanket and cozy up to a great read. My all-time favorite from Richard Paul Evans, The Timepiece and The Christmas Box. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And really, I'm not just speaking for myself, but I really want to encourage you to read. Reading really is a time that you can spend just relaxing and getting away from the normal stresses of the day. Reading really allows your imagination to just run wild. One of my favorite quotes from a very favorite movie, Anne of Green Gables, is a particular scene where Anne is walking with Miranda, and she says to her, do you imagine, can you just imagine? And Miranda says, no, basically, I don't have time for that. And Anne of Green Gables very clearly states to her, oh, how much you've missed. And I think that's what you miss when you can't allow your imagination to just run wild and just get into a good read.